Okay.
Simon. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I can't hear. Hi, Simon. She's not saying
Hey, hey.
Why
How
can't we
are
hear?
you doing?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. Here we go. Try it now.
Hey, can
Simon.
you hear me?
Yeah, it's so faint, though. I don't know why we can't hear you really good.
StreamYard is so weird.
Oh. Audio. Let's try the AirPods.
Try the AirPods again.
Hey, Debbie.
Hold on.
All right. One second.
Oh, now I can hear you.
That is
Okay.
so. All right, that's
Okay, sorry about that.
Sorry about tech issues.
Sorry about that. I can hear you. We can hear you good now.
That's good.
It wasn't the sound out of the iPad wasn't very good.
Oof.
So.
Hi, Angelina. Hello, Luckbox. So, because now that we can hear each other, how are you doing?
We're doing good.
Doing good, doing good. Just we were watching the Chiefs game, the Kansas City Chiefs game. Which way? This way?
How did the Chiefs game go?
So far so good. There, I think
it's tied.
It's tied right now. Yeah. So, Chiefs are my team. Actually, Carolina likes the Chiefs.
Nice. Going to be cheering the Chiefs on for you.
Thanks, Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
Thanks for having us on your show. We we think you're awesome. So.
Thank you so much. Sai, what did you say?
I said hi to Beth.
Hello.
Hi, Beth.
Hi. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, we were having trouble with the microphone earlier, but now it's all good.
That's good. So I'm curious. I forgot, but do you have a dog rescue?
No.
No, we don't. Yeah. Caroline wants a dog, but we have 3 birds, so it's kind of hard, to have a dog also with 3 birds. They're a lot of work, so we love them. They're really, really nice pets.
I can imagine. And I'm curious, what are the names of your birds?
Charlie, Amelia, and Sunny. Sunny's our cockatiel, Amelia's our conure, and Charlie's a painted conure.
Aww.
Get Charlie.
They're our angels. I'll go get Charlie. Hang on.
Can I just see Charlie? I've heard that you have birds in the past, and Lisa says that we love seeing pictures.
Come here, Charlie. Where are you? Oh, come on. Come on, people want to see you. You gonna make an appearance? Okay, come on.
Hi.
Hey, Yoing, nice to see you.
Hi, Lori.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh.
Is this Charlie?
Does Charlie know any tricks or any words?
No, he doesn't really talk.
Our other bird, Amelia, talks. She talks.
Oh, Charlie's so beautiful.
He doesn't like my hat.
Oh.
He's a good boy.
When did you get Charlie?
How about 3 years ago?
Yeah, he's doing this.
Oh, he's mad at your head. Probably about 3 years ago. He's about 3 years old.
He's just a baby.
Oh, it's crazy how long parrots can live.
Yeah. Sunny, our cockatiel, he's probably about 14 or 15.
Wow.
Yeah, he's older. We actually don't know how old Sunny is because he was kind of a rescue bird. My parents rescued him and they're gone now. So when they passed away, we inherited their bird, and we already had 2 birds. So we actually had another bird. We didn't have Charlie then. We had another bird named Jack, and he passed away. So so after Jack passed away, we got Charlie. So we've kind of always had 3 birds ever since we got Sunny. So.
Oh, how sweet! And I find it really cool that you adopted like other birds.
Yeah, Sunny. We
Sunny.
adopted him.
Yeah, so like I'm curious how did you get into the YouTube community?
Well, we've always been the way we kind of got into it is a long time ago. I wanted to see. I was really into Clue, and I wanted to see how a bonus looked. This was like a really long time ago, and so I went onto YouTube, and I believe it was SD Guy that I first watched. Hi, Juicy. And so that's how we kind of got into it.
That is so cool to hear. I remember SD being one of the first creators I got into by accident. When I was like looking up Willy Wonka cabinet, I clicked on SD Guy, and I was in for like a huge surprise after watching a bunch of videos geared towards kids, younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because sometimes he's not kid friendly.
Not at all.
Well, but we never knew there was actually like a community, back then when we saw those videos. Like we didn't know. Well, I guess probably it was a smaller community too back then. But yeah, so yeah, we just was 2018. Caroline had some illnesses. She had ovarian cancer and survived, and then she over the period of 2 years she had 3 surgeries, and so we were kind of shut down for a while. Like we pretty much were a little reclusive. We just kind of like had medical things to take care of. And after we came out of that, we were like, you know what? We just want to like have some fun, play our slots, because we always loved slots together. We started playing slots together 20 years ago and going to Vegas. We were married in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were like, let's play slots. We wanted to make some friends, maybe find like a community of some sort, or maybe like just a group of people that are like-minded. And so we found the slot community, and the rest is history.
That's such a cool story. I like hearing how people got into playing slots, and I find it really fascinating that you ended up getting married in Vegas.
Yeah. We did. We were married at the Treasure Island.
Awesome. And
yeah, it was awesome.
They had the pirate show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wish the pirate ship still worked.
Me too. I thought it was great.
We liked that too. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I also do wish that I was around to see the Stardust Casino in its glory days.
Oh, we stayed at the Stardust, right?
We stayed at the Stardust. Yeah, we love the Stardust. That was we stayed there quite a bit actually. And then I go like Caroline and I go back in Vegas 20 years or 21 years actually, but we both go back to Vegas, years before that. My mom and dad and her parents were both, gamblers. And so, over the years, before we even met, we had a lot of trips with our family to Vegas. We stayed at the Dunes and all the old school, hotels back then. And so we've seen a lot of changes in Vegas in our lifetime, definitely.
Wow. Yeah, so going off of old Vegas, I'm like wondering, what's your thoughts of old Vegas versus new Vegas?
What's our favorite slots, old, and favorite slots new?
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts of old Vegas versus new Vegas?
What is our thoughts on old Vegas versus new
Vegas? Well, what I'll say on that is it's really different, because back in the day, everybody, there was no Tito's, there was no tickets, it was all coins. And it's kind of funny because now looking back, oh my gosh, nobody wants to have all those dirty coins, and it's so dirty. Now everybody's so like careful with hand sanitizer and all that kind of stuff. But it's funny because back then when they came out with the tickets and the Tito's, we went kicking and screaming on it. We're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And, we were so bummed because you just missed all those coins pouring out and you're grabbing buckets, just trying to, collect them all up and everything. It was fun, but Vegas is really, really different now than it was back then. Back in the day, it was, buffets were.
You could drive to Old Vegas. You could drive up to the casino and park and walk right in. Like now, you can't really do that. I mean, you can, but it's a little bit more difficult.
I mean, you just pull up and park and like walk in the back door, and all of a sudden you were in there, and a lot of the rooms were like right by the pool. You just kind of, you could have a room like at the dunes, we would stay, and you'd be like right off the pool, just like you walk out your back door and you're at the pool. It was really, really different. And they had, the food was obviously cheaper than it is now. Vegas is very, we feel like Vegas is like one of the best places in the world for food. I mean, they have just everything there now. But back then it was more like buffets, and the food was a lot cheaper, but it was still really, really good. And they had, I remember
the shrimp cocktail.
They'd have like the most amazing, prawn shrimp cocktails for like 50 cents.
Yeah,
they were 50 cents, and you got like 5 prawns, like big ones, so they're cool. Yeah, but it's very different. We love it now. We loved it then. I guess it's just you kind of change with the times, but it's really different now than it was for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Love Travel Slot says post-pandemic Vegas seems less magical, but I'm also new to the whole Vegas experience just the past 8 years.
I agree with that. Having to wear the mask, it gets a little bit like cumbersome, and there's a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of the people are not really respectful, they're but
also with the pandemic and all is, not every restaurant is open all the time. Like Vegas used to be like this 24-hour place that like pretty much anytime you could have anything you wanted, and now it's very different. They shut down things. There are a lot of, like, when you go for a visit, you might have restaurants that are closed the whole time you were there.
You can't just like pick up and go. You have to kind of plan, which kind of sucks.
Make reservations.
We're more of like spur of the moment,
But we've always liked to just like, even back with our parents before we knew each other, we would just like be sitting around, having dinner, and we'd say like, what do you think? Want to go to Vegas? And so you just jump in the car and go. And where we lived, we grew up in Southern California, so we were like 4-hour drive to Vegas. So it was always, just a really easy drive.
I really wish that I could experience Vegas the way that you experienced it back then.
I know.
Well, it's great now too. There was pros and cons. The one thing that was really nice was, like, we reminisce because we really liked the old school Vegas too, like the shows, for example. Like, you'd have just like legendary people playing, and then speaking for my parents and her parents, they saw all the famous people there, like
your parents saw Elvis, right?
They saw Elvis, they saw Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong. What's his name? Jimmy Durante, Dean Martin. They saw, they knew those guys. Like my dad and his dad had a meat market in Beverly Hills.
Wow.
And they delivered meat to the stars. And so they met all those people. I think they would hook them up with tickets and things like that too. Met Marilyn Monroe and the Marx Brothers, like everybody. So, they had a lot of stories. They had their own stories of like even older Vegas than us. They had stuff going back to when they were our age, going to Vegas. And they saw Elvis at the was it called the International? I guess it was the Hilton.
Hilton.
Yeah. So they were huge Elvis fans too. So they liked all the old music, and we like all the old music because we had older parents. So we grew up with like, 40s music and 30s music and 50s and all that. We love all that music, because we love music of today, obviously too. But like, it's really nice to be able to enjoy like 40s music, like swing or big band and stuff. Like we love all that music. So good.
I cannot agree more. I do love the Rat Pack. and like all the people you listed. I love listening to their music.
Yes, we do too. It's amazing, like Louis Armstrong and these artists. I mean, things that we never got to see either, but we have seen quite a few concerts, I would say, in Vegas. One thing we love about Vegas is the entertainment. Even today, like they just get the best of the best for shows and stuff. We've seen everybody there. I think one of the first concerts her and I went to together there was Elton John and Billy Joel, and it was just like it was face to face, and they were playing each other. I mean, that's like legends of today. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was just unreal. We've seen the Eagles there. We've seen just everybody, and the venues in Vegas are awesome for concerts and things. We would almost rather go to a show there than anywhere else. Because they have great venues, and it's nice because you're staying there, so you can just kind of have fun and go to your room and then go to the show or whatever. And it's a lot of fun. A lot of perks of like M Life and some of those places give you concert tickets. And so that
is the nice thing today versus back in the day is the casino programs, like the players cards and stuff like that. You get more out of like going there than you probably would have back in the day.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think they probably just did it different back there. It was back in the day. It was probably like they got to know you. You built up your reputation, but they didn't have the players card necessarily. They couldn't track it like that and things. But yeah, we love old Vegas. We love new Vegas. I mean, the new thing coming out is that cashless thing. So it's kind of a same changeover from when they changed from coins to Tito's. Now they're going to do this cashless thing, and talk about, we don't like that at all. Like, I mean,
Right.
It's just scary. It's just scary. I don't like the idea
They have
of
that at our Atlantis, I think.
they have it at Resorts World too.
Oh,
They do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, they already have it, and then you can play with Tito's and things there too. But I think eventually they're going to all switch to that. I do.
They are.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that when you say that the slot machines will no longer have a place to install the Tito or to get cash out, but rather the slot machine will just dump it onto your phone. And Pete Globe, I know we're kind of segueing, but Pete Globe says back in the day when they paid coins, you could use a device to trick the machine out of paying extra coins.
I didn't
know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I wish I would have known that back in the day.
It's so funny though, thinking back on those coins, because I mean, nobody thought anything of it back then. Just scraping all these coins out of the thing. They were so dirty. I mean, your hands were just. But no, now, I wasn't like a germaphobe or anything like that. But now I think I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I always like wash my hands there and because they feel dirty even just from touching the machines. And like Joe made a comment. Like Joe always teases me because I like to touch the screen a lot, and so he'll be like, don't touch that. You're going to get, coronavirus, But he wanted us to tell you the story about the 9 quick hits.
Yes, please.
Okay.
You tell.
Well, that was the first, that was our biggest jackpot to date, actually. Date, yeah. We've had some other pretty close big ones, but that was a trip. We were in Vegas. We were staying at the Cosmopolitan, and we were literally just getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
And we'd had like a really great trip. We were up for the trip, and so we were getting ready to leave. And I had a ticket for $50, and I went over to this, the Ainsworth game, Grand Dragon, in the high limit room, and I put it in, and I got a bonus. And I'd never played that game before. Now it's like I love that game. But I put it in, won like $2,000. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great, And like I said, we were already up for the trip, so we were stoked.
We had to leave because we flew there, so we had a plane to catch. Like we were getting ready to go.
Sometimes we would drive, but sometimes we would fly because it's like an hour flight. It's really easy. So we were getting ready to leave, and Caroline went to the restroom, and when she came out, I said, we're doing pretty good right now. We're up. I said, I know you want to go because we were going to be leaving to get the car to go to the airport. I said, let's just play one more. And She always fights me on this. I swear. Like
I'm like,
every
"Come
every
on."
single time I do this, I'm like, I want to play one more, and it's always something big, and we win. So she's like, okay, fine. So we go over to the quick hits red machine. I don't know if you know that one. They have wild red. Yeah, wild red. So we go over to that. I've been looking at it for a couple of days. We sit down at it and we put $200 in it, and it's a $27 bet. So that's why $200. I mean, it's going to give you a little bit of a chance, you know. So we put it in, and we got the bonus, and this is when we were just getting started to like film some of our bonuses and things. We were getting slowly introduced to the slot world, so we thought.
So I said, I'll film this one. I'll film this one.
And so
I said,
we got the bonus.
I said something like, if we get the 9 hit quick hits one, that'll make a great video.
Yeah, she did. She literally did. So she's filming, and we got the bonus.
We got quick hit
You
fever.
have to pick, and we got the quick hit fever, and she said, wouldn't it be great if we got the 9 quick hits, just like that? And so we're in the bonus, and we're winning, you know, pretty. Oh, it's a great bonus. We're winning like a couple $100.
Like 3 spins in, he didn't realize it, but the machine dropped 9 quick hits.
Just like a solid screen. Just
a solid screen.
Oh,
just
the second, third, and fourth reel.
And he's
Oh my
not
God.
laughing. He's excited, but he thinks that it's $9,000. What was it? $6,000.
I thought it was $6,000.
He thought it was $6,000.
Because I don't. It's really. This is the weird thing. You would think you would know what it is. You see the numbers, but
he's not used to seeing that many numbers.
Well, no, most people aren't. But
No.
but it was a bit of a shock. You know, like it's almost like your brain.
Yeah.
And we've had this on other big jackpots too. But like it's almost like your brain just kind of goes into like a shock. You know, and so you can even hear it in the video because we have the video out. You can hear at the end it's doing the thing. It's tallying up, and I said, I think I said, is that $68,000?
And I said, yes.
She said, yeah. And I didn't believe it. I said, oh my God. So yeah, sure enough, we'd won $68,000 on that machine.
Whoa.
And I think I proceeded to say like, oh my God, over and over because I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock.
We got the check and laughed.
It was so that's the funny part. It was quiet. It was really quiet
There was nobody
at that time. There was nobody around. Nobody else saw it or anything. And we were like, yeah, we'll take a check. And we literally took the check and walked out the door. And that was it. It was
wow.
great. Yeah. So
Oh my God.
The video of the quick hits. Yeah, it's on. We have a channel that we've started now. It's called Bobby and Caroline's Adventures, and it's on our channel now. You can see it there. Yeah, we think we re-put it out a little while back. Yeah. So yeah, that was the start of us, you know, and of course too, it kind of started us maybe playing a little bit higher limit. Like, you know, we learned that, you know, there's some money to be made there, but we still really like the low bets too. Like we'll do anything from $2 to $50. I mean, like, you know, but it just, I always call it like a bit of a, I know.
Because back in the day, we used to do play nickels a lot, and like 45. Our highest that we would go was like 45 nickels, and that was a lot for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I remember well enough when the quick hits, the original platinum quick hits machine came out, which we still just really love. I know, Spinner, we should have stayed another night, but we had a flight. That's the thing. Thank God we did. Or I would have put half of it back.
Yeah.
But no. So you know, we like back then, even $1.50 was a lot to us on that platinum quick hits. You know, the max bet on it was $1.50, and back then we put $20 in the machine at a time. You know, and that was a lot of money to us, and it still is. But like we put $20 in. And you know, you take a chance to get the bonus, and the $1.50 to us was a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot. That was a big bet, and it still is to some people. And I mean, you know, I mean, we're respectful of all bets. Like I said, we'll bet $1.50. Just recently, we went over to Atlantis here in Reno, and we put $20. We walked in, we put $20 in the machine.
What was that, Bubble Blast?
It's called Bubble Blast. It was like with a dragon. And we're betting $1.50 on it, and $150 ball pops up, and it landed on that. So we won the $150, proceeded to kind of just start to kill it on this game, you know, on $1.50 bets. So we built it up to like whatever, $150, $200. So then we started doing the max bet on it, which I think was like $7. And literally, like within 20 minutes, we had a hand pay on that machine.
Wow.
So all on $20. So you just never know. I mean, it's just, I feel like luck is one of those things that if you're meant to win something, it doesn't actually matter what you're betting. You know, you could put hundreds of thousands of dollars in a machine, but really it just takes one spin on any bet. It could be 50 cents. So I feel like sometimes, you know, to try and kill it and put thousands of dollars in a machine is not, it's not a good value. You know, I like, we like calculated risks. You know, if we're playing 50 cents on a machine or $2 and it's paying and we're winning, then we'll take up our bet a little bit and take some chances. But we don't like to stay on a heavy bet. You know what I mean?
No.
We'll take chances. Like, yeah.
I'm more of a low roller than you, though. I like 2 cents. 2 cents, 5 cents.
She's been doing really good on 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
But I like dimes a lot. Like for on Firelink, I really like dimes. I like the $4 bet dimes on Firelink. But then I like the $20 bet on Firelink. So, but what I'll do is I'll play $4 bets. If it's kind of paying and I'm getting a bit of a feeling on it, excuse me, I'll jack it up $20. And I did that the other day actually, and had a hand pay on it yesterday.
Wow.
So
I like to play craps sometimes. And you like, Bobby likes poker, right?
Yeah.
Texas Hold'em.
yeah, I'm a poker player. I still like to play you know, Texas Ultimate. Oh no, I like Ultimate Texas Hold'em, but you know, live poker tournaments and things like that. Yeah, so I do play poker, and now that we're in Reno, they have online poker, the WSOP. You can play for real money online, which is cool.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm like wondering, when you play like dime filing, I'm like wondering, do you feel that the machine pays out better on dimes?
It just depends. I mean, we like Caroline was saying, we really like 2 cents and nickels too, because and the really funny thing is I feel like, and Joe would agree with this, like pennies max bet, like $5, for example, can be so high. I've seen so many people in live streams and videos do really well on a $5 bet on pennies, or even $3, you know, pennies. So I think it's just relative. Like I was saying, I feel I just personally have done really well on dimes. I like dimes. But I think it comes in waves too. Same with luck. I feel like luck comes in waves. I feel like games come in waves. Like you know, when we very first started playing Firelink, I couldn't hit one thing on it.
No.
And now it's like one of my top games to play. So it's just like, and then like same thing with what's that one? A Buffalo Link. You know, when that first came out, oh man, just hand pay after hand pay, and then literally now it's not my game. So it's weird how that is with games and luck. I feel like, yeah, penny denom. I missed that.
Oops. Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Oh, $5 bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori, it's such a great bet. I mean, and I think Joe, Easy Life Jackpot, Salt Jackpots, used to always play $5 bets pennies on Lightning Link and do really well on that. And I think back then when he was doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna play dimes, you know. But I'm not afraid to bet any denom, any bet, you know. Like if I feel I can win, I'll do it. Yeah. And I think that's a good point, is just to not limit yourself to one denom or one bet. I mean, I like dollars too. I mean, I've done on the Power 4 Firelink machine, that's been like, I like dimes on it and I like nickels on that really well. I think I like nickels, and then dollars, like done really good on that. We have one video on our channel of playing dollars Power 4 Firelink. I mean, it was such a crazy session. This one time Caroline went to the spa to get her hair done or something, and I just went on, like I was going to go to the room and take her things to the room, and I'm like, well, I'll play this Power 4 Firelink for a few minutes. I sat there for the whole time, and like I won $8,000 playing it. But see, it was because I was playing dollars, and I was just on this machine that was like so hot, you know. So
Alright, so I do have a question. Sorry to interrupt, but I am curious. When you start playing a machine, how can you tell if a machine is going to be hot or cold?
That's a good question.
I feel like if it starts kind of like giving little bonuses or hits, I tend to look at like what I'll look at sometimes when you get paid, how much it's paying you, because sometimes I notice these machines like it'll pay you, but it's paying you like half of what your bet is to make you feel like you're getting paid, but you're really not. Like, and if you have a lot of dead spins in a row, I tend to like leave.
That is really good signs. That is some really good signs to look out for. For me, I can relate. Like if I'm like playing a machine, and if I don't get like a bonus in 5 to 10 spins, I'm like out of it as humanly fast as I can. And that's why that's why sometimes some people call me a grasshopper during live streams.
Well,
it's good to move around though.
It
That's
is.
You keep your money.
It is really, really good to move around. Sometimes I think people can, and speaking for myself, can get a little bit lazy. You just kind of want to like veg out on a machine for a while, but it is really good to move around. I think that the more you do that, the better you're going to win, because like, and one thing I noticed too, speaking for that, is sometimes when you sit down on a machine, a lot of times I'll bet a bigger bet on the first spin, because a lot of times for myself, I hit a bonus or something big on the first spin. So in fact, when I turned 21 many moons ago, it was at the Golden Nugget downtown in Las Vegas. I was in the Golden Nugget at midnight, and I put $20 in a slot machine, and I won. I don't know, it was $100 or something like that, but it was a big hit for me, and I was hooked. I mean, obviously that's my curse, right? Because I mean, 21, you put $20 in the machine at midnight, and you win, and then that's cut to this many years later and still playing. But I think a lot of times it's that first spin, that you hit.
That's that's some really good insight. And we do have a few questions from the chat. Randy the Slot Wizard says, "Hey Bobby and Caroline, where is the most money you have ever won at a casino in one day?"
We've had a lot of. I mean, it's hard to say because there's a lot of times where we've won on multiple machines. But I would probably when we hit the 68,000, I would say that's probably the biggest. I mean, and that was just one game. But we've had other times. There's just, like I said, luck comes in waves. There's times where we've just like had these epic sessions. One time
there was this one time that we were at Cosmo, and like we just were on fire. Like everything we touched, we would win on. And we came home with quite a bit of money on that one.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Like maybe like $30,000 or something like that on a trip. But we've had, the second biggest thing we ever won was on a Kangaroo Mighty Cash. What's that one called? Outback Bucks, which I love that one now. But like they had one at San Manuel, which is Yamava now. They had one there, and I feel like too, when you hit these big jackpots, there's always like a certain aura or something kind of weird going on. You know what I mean? There's like, I'll look back on it and realize there was moments and tells and things that are going on supernaturally somehow, but it's hard to explain. But this one night it was later at night, and we like to play in the morning a lot, daytime a lot. But this one night we decided to go to San Manuel. We drove there, and we didn't want to spend a lot of money this night. We were like, you know what? Let's just try and take it kind of easy, So when we got there, we had to use the restroom. We went in the vault they have there, which is a high limit room. And we went in there and used the restroom, and we came out. We took $100. We took $100, her and I together, and we the biggest things we've ever won has been when we're playing together, by the way. So like we play separately too, but like anything really, really big we've ever played, we're playing together usually. So we put $100 in this Kangaroo Mighty Cash, and we're betting $4 on it, bets. It was 50 cents a nom, 8 credits, $4 bets on 50 cents a nom. And we got the bonus, and she's sitting down and I'm standing to the side of the machine. We get the free spin bonus, and it re-triggered and things like that. And then we got the Mighty Cash bonus. So the balls are coming down. We're really happy to have a bonus. It's going to be the last spin of the Mighty Cash balls coming in. and for some reason I took my finger and I just hit the bottom right box, just hit it, pulled my hand away, and the grand dropped in there.
Yeah.
for $40,000. We just put $100 in this machine. We just gotten there. And so things like that have happened to us. It's really like just mysterious and weird how those things happen. But we've had some really nice lucky moments like that. So it's kind of fun.
Yes, so like when that happened, did the room feel really weird, or did you feel like this like really bizarre presence?
No.
Not really. Not really.
We were just in shock.
We were in shock, literally. Again, we were in shock. I mean, sometimes when you won something that big, like you don't realize how big it is. You know what I mean? It's big to anybody, but we're kind of like, her and I are not screamers. For example, like some people, if they won something like that, they'd be screaming and yelling. Even when we won the $68,000, we're like we're quiet. I mean, I know it's weird. We're not screamers, but. And I think another thing too is we don't want to draw attention to ourselves. We don't want to start yelling and doing all that because then you're going to have a big crowd of people, coming around. So, you okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
For me, even if I tried to hold in a scream, I don't think I could. I even scream if I win $1 off a 50-cent bet. That's when I start screaming.
I know. You know what? I appreciate that. Believe me, because I think every part of me wants to like yell and be like that, but I don't know. We're really quiet winners, really silent winners. Like we just we get very excited. Obviously, I mean, very excited. I mean, like when you win that kind of money, you're just like, oh my gosh. We had a lot of really good luck at Yamava, which is always been San Manuel. Going back 21 years ago. We started going to San Manuel
Not
20 years ago.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
No, longer. Not that long. That was like 2015.
Well, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
We were going to San Manuel a long time ago.
Not back in 2002. I don't even think San Manuel's been around that long.
Well, pretty much whenever San Manuel and Harrah's and Pachanga and some of those Southern California hotels and casinos opened, we built those places. We would go, we would work all day. We'd get off work on a Friday and we'd go, you know what, let's go to the casino. We'd take our $100, $200, whatever. And we'd go to these places. And back then they were like trailers and they weren't even like a whole casino. It was like a trailer on like stilts. And you would go in there and then, they built these like lavish, great places now. We always joke like, oh, we built that wing over there or whatever, But it's neat to kind of see the changes of those places over the years. And San Manuel was always, no matter what, always our luckiest local casino. Yamava, San Manuel, we still call it. But yeah, even back in the day when we were not betting higher like we do now and stuff, we would win like a lot of money there. Like we would on a bonus, we win like $1,000, and to us, we were like, "Oh my gosh, this is like incredible!" Like they had these quarter, they call them bonus machines.
Still have them there.
They're like
I thought they were
whales of cash, like those kind of machines with the bonuses. But they had these quarter ones that were in a circle, and I swear they were money makers. They were so great, but they could get you really bad too. But
do you know what the name of the machines were?
Open Sesame was one of them. Have you seen that before? Open Sesame?
She probably has them. Yeah, Open Sesame. That was
I want to say one was called like Paris Lights or something like that. Paris Lights. There's Whales of Cash, I think, was one of them, or something like that. We call them bonus games. Like those are our favorite kinds. Like the fortune cookie, like that one. Like the old games, like Sea Monkeys, like the Diana plays. Those games we love because you get those cool bonuses and things, and that's what really attracted us to slots. Really, was not like real games with like single lines. Those are what we played, years ago. But we love the bonus games, the ones with the really fun bonuses. That's what we love, is games that have really cool bonuses.
Agree.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I gotta agree. cool bonuses do draw me in, and I find it crazy just how hard it is to find fortune cookie and sea monkey at the casinos nowadays.
Yeah.
We're lucky they have them here in Reno. We played fortune. I got a good win there.
Oh.
We played fortune cookie yesterday. They have it at Atlantis, so they have it there, and they have it in Southern California too. They have it at Pachanga, but yeah, we love those old games, you know, because those are the ones we got into so many years ago. What are some of the other ones that we really liked? Fortune cookie's great because, you know, I like games and bonuses where you pick things, you know, those are the best, you know. There's a Monopoly one, the party train one, where
Yes.
you know, each spin of the bonus you got to pick something, and it would be like a multiplier or be a wild reel, and I love those kind of games too, where there's a picking on every spin. Those are some of my favorite games.
I like the older games. Like if we go to a place and they have the older games, I tend to go to those more and play them.
Do you feel that older games pay out more money?
I do. Yeah, it's a better value because max bet's not that high, and I feel like you get paid a little bit better.
Betty the Yeti, that's another one we really like and have done good on. I see somebody asked a question how we met. We met, that's a whole nother story. But, you know, we believe, like Carol and I believe
We met online.
We met online, but we both have this belief of like everything works in synchronicity. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no coincidences in life. You know what I mean? Like we were destined to kind of meet, and we've been very lucky that we did meet because we've just, you know, had such a nice life together, and we've just enjoyed each other's company, you know.
Yeah,
So,
we lived like what, 2 blocks from each other?
yeah, we both lived in Long Beach at the time, and we met online. It was like a match type, like a match.com.
But we didn't even pay for the service.
Never paid for the service. we met on a free trial. She sent me her email address through a free trial, and we connected, and we met on the phone first. We started talking on the phone, and I really liked her voice a lot, and she has such a great voice, you know. And when we met in person, we met for a cup of coffee, and we just like hit it off right off the bat. You know, certain people is one of those things where when you meet them, if it's kind of like meant to be, like you feel like you knew them for years, you know. And when I first met Caroline, we just like, it was like we just had always known each other, you know. Like we just literally, it was instant. And like even when we got on the phone, there was no nervousness. We were just, you know, you'd be really nervous talking with somebody you've been kind of liking and talking with, you know, the very first time talking on the phone, you're kind of nervous, right? But we were just like, oh, like we were like old friends, you know. We just hit it right off. Very lucky.
Wow. That's like a really cool story. And Robert Ferguson, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Woo!
Woohoo!
And also kind of random comic books jackpots is asking when we can make a video. After Slot Speak, definitely leave me a comment or give me a message on Facebook, which is Simon Cleef. I'd really love to do a collaboration with you. And also, Slotfest is asking, what is your favorite casino to visit?
Ooh.
Good question.
Well,
the Bellagio we like a lot.
Yeah.
We like the Bellagio a lot. We just came back from there. We had to put out a video for that. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of luck there.
Here in Reno, we like the Atlantis a lot. We like Grand Sierra. We like, we haven't really been to all of the casinos. We're trying to like hit them all. We went downtown and went to Circus, and believe it or not, we really liked it.
Yeah.
Like, it was nice.
Yeah, because I don't think we like Circus in Vegas too much, but
But it was nice, and we had good luck there.
We did. Had a hand pay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like Peppermill too. Peppermill was good.
And like in Vegas, we went to the Cosmo for a long time. We also in Vegas we've stayed at almost everywhere. We stayed at a lot of M Life properties. We like MGM a lot. We stayed at Aria for a long time.
Yeah.
That's probably not our favorite too much anymore, but We definitely love the Bellagio. It's one of those places, like our favorite restaurant in all of Vegas is at the Bellagio. It's
Yellowtail.
Yellowtail.
I like Venetian too because they have a lot of nice restaurants.
They
there
do.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because we love food.
Yeah.
Same. Love food
I
too.
love to cook. But we love to eat too.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great part about Vegas. We always talk about this, like they have just everything there. I mean, it's kind of amazing. I mean, Carolyn and I both have traveled quite a bit, and like there's no place like Vegas because you can get anything in Vegas, you know? I mean, just anything. Like, I mean, they have everything. So some of the best dinners we've had in our whole life have been in Vegas. Yeah.
Wow. There's quite a lot of restaurants that I do want to try at the Venetian. And I just find that, and one day I do want to do a food tour of Vegas where I try all the good restaurants.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be
I would
really
love
cool.
That would be great.
Yes, all three of us, let's do a food tour.
We should. That'd
Yeah.
be fun. We would totally do that. Yeah.
I'd love
Buddy
to do-
V's is really good at Venetian.
Yeah, we went
Buddy
there.
V's.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. They have a lot of great restaurants there at Venetian. But yeah, Buddy V's is really good.
I would say
Yeah.
back east, there's Mohegan.
Yeah, that's
Mohegan
true.
Sun and Borgata.
Yeah, so back east, we the Mohegan Sun is amazing. That is one of our favorites as far as any casino. Like it's massive. It's so huge.
Yes.
It's like you go in there and then you don't like sleep for 2 days.
They pump a lot of like really good oxygen in that place, and you just don't sleep for a couple days. But we've had a lot of great fun there, and
Yeah.
Borgata is also really nice in Atlantic City, and but we want to travel more. Like now that we're kind of doing a channel thing too, and like with our channel, like we're not trying to like. We really don't want it to just be about slots. We've done some food reviews and things like that too. So we'll do some hotels, some food and slots. And so that's kind of what we're trying to gear towards, doing. So yeah, it's fun. We just have a lot of interest. We're going to be going to a concert coming up and at a casino. And so we're going to do a cool video for that. We're, coming up. So yeah, we like music a lot, concerts also. So it's been a long time since we've
A very long time.
been to a concert.
Like 2 years.
Since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So but we have a couple things coming up, one in Vegas and one in
Nice.
Lake Tahoe. Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to your concert videos, and I'm glad and I'm happy to see that concerts are finally making a comeback. Dog Pound Online says back in the day, Circus was cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Remember they used to have the trapeze acts and stuff? Like,
Yeah, you know what? Circus was a really nice place at one time. And when I was a kid, my parents would take me there, and they were happy to take me there because they could give me some quarters to go play the carnival games with they had the trapeze acts overhead. It was really neat, And I would go there and play the squirt the water and get the balloon and all that, and they just go play slots, So it was a win-win. They could know that I was safe there playing that, and they could go to play slots. So yeah, it was good for families and things like that, because speaking of driving up, that was one place I can totally remember just pulling up in the parking lot,
yeah.
just walking right into Circus, yeah, it just and I'm not saying it's not nice now. To be honest, we just haven't been there in years. But the one in Reno was really clean,
Very nice.
and
Yes.
and lucky. The machines were lucky there. They had a good
old
vibe.
school games there.
They had Betty the Yeti, but they didn't have a lot of the newer games. But they had some good Dragon Links there, and then so the ones in Reno, they're connected. They're Caesar's properties. They have Circus, and then they all connect. The next one over is Silver Legacy, and then El Dorado, and they're all Caesars connected. So that's kind of cool. It's like they call it the Row. Yeah. You've been to Reno, right, Simon? I know you've come to Reno before.
I have. I was really impressed by thinking back, I'm really impressed by how well decorated and how well maintained the Circus in Reno was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
We were
nice.
impressed
It's kind of
with it.
quiet. When we were there, it was during
It
the
was very
day. During the
quiet.
daytime, it was
It
pretty
was.
quiet. But it was we liked it. You know, we didn't know what to expect there. And actually, the whole downtown area there is really kind of clean and nice. So we didn't for a downtown city type place, it's mellow. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Debbie. That's so
Oh,
nice. Thank you.
thank you, Debbie, for the $2 super chat. Thanks for the great content. Love you all. Woo! And also, I did find also related to Sokus. We have 2 comments related to Sokus. Sokus Juicy's Jungle says, "I know it sounds crazy, but I would not mind going to see Sokus Sokus."
Yeah, you have to. Are the one in Vegas juicy or the one in Reno?
And Easy says, "When I was a child, so about 10 years ago, Sokus Sokus was the place to be."
Yep.
It was. And I don't know why Circus Circus kind of reminds me of the Luxor also in Vegas, which is another property that I feel like maybe hasn't been maintained like very well, but like the Luxor at one time was just like really beautiful and so cool. Like inside it just had the architecture was so interesting. There was nothing else like it. And speaking of that too, Excalibur is another one. I remember back in the day, my friends and I, when we go to Vegas, we'd stay at Excalibur, and we had the best time there. I mean, because it was just this kind of kooky, fun, crazy place to stay.
I really wish that these very fun places would have been. I really wish that it still looked as good as it did back then today, so I could have seen them too.
I know. Well, a lot of them are still pretty maintained. And then
Good.
there's New York also.
Yes.
We stayed when that first opened. We stayed there quite a bit too. That's a really neat property. How they have
It is.
like the trees in there and like the New York type architecture and stuff.
One time.
That's a good story. That's a really good story.
When we first, we weren't married yet, were we?
No, we just got together.
I had gotten off work, and I don't. How much money? Like a couple $100.
Yeah, it was like $200.
It was a lot of money for me back then. So it's like, hey, I've got some money. Do you want to go to Vegas?
We just met. Like
we didn't have a hotel room. So we just got in the car and drove, and his dad's like curiously trying to find a hotel room for us. So we finally get to Vegas. We pull up to the Tropicana, and we go in, and like within 2 minutes, all of our money was gone.
Just gone. We had no money.
No money.
Oh no.
This is what happens when you're young and stupid.
No money.
We were stupid, but that's all we've always been though. We're just kind of crazy. But our channel's called Adventures for a reason, and we just do crazy stuff.
So his dad got us a room at New York, but we couldn't check in till the next day.
Oof.
So we went to New York. We went to the coffee shop and spent all night drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes.
We smoked cigarettes back then too, and so we sat at a table in that little like village area in New York. All night, just drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, because we couldn't play any machines or anything.
We had no money.
We had no money. And like, we're sitting there. But you know what's funny? This is right when we first met, so we knew we handled it so well. We didn't fight or get upset. We had actually the best time. That was when we knew that it was meant to be, because the next day we were still together. And yeah, so that was our first Vegas trip together was that one. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like so. All right. So Bo Gamble Slots is asking, have you ever played at the Oklahoma casinos?
No, we haven't.
We haven't. We'd like to though. That's why I'm saying we want to travel to some other places. We want to try Choctaw, right? Mm-hmm. And there's some places we've never played any of the red screen games. Those look really cool.
You should definitely go to Montano in April.
Oh, in April? Are you going?
I'm going to Choctaw in April, and if you do make it, I'd love to meet you there.
We would love to meet you, Simon. It would be so awesome.
I'd love to meet you too. Easy Life has a question that only you can read. My mouth is too clean to read it tonight.
It's a true story.
It is.
Sometimes they always say the casinos get you in the shorts, and I wear shorts. I wear shorts a lot, and I had a belt on, but maybe it wasn't tight enough. And so we had this trip to the Cosmo one time where we just lost our butt. I mean, we lost so much money, and they cleaned us out. And so we're getting ready to walk out the door, kind of like the time we won the 68,000, but this time it was like with no money. So we were playing. I was playing one last machine. It was like a Lock It Link, and I played and lost all that, and it was time to go. I stood up, and my pants dropped straight to the ground. My shorts dropped straight to the ground.
Right in front of somebody.
This couple was walking towards me when that happened, and I think they thought like I was trying to flash them or something, and it was really embarrassing. But I was holding something in my hand.
Oh my God!
I was holding something in my hand, so I couldn't just pull it up really quick. I had to like bend over and like put some stuff down and then pull up my pants. So like, and they were looking like, God, what? This is Vegas. I go, what's going on? This is crazy. It was so funny. Yeah. But they took my pants. They took everything. Literally.
Oh my gosh. All right.
True story.
So Slotmo is kind of, I know I'm kind of jumping around, but Slotmo says I'm more that MGM is going to destroy the Cosmo slot floor when they take it over later this year.
I hope that they'll leave it kind of the same.
Yeah. You know, Cosmo has a lot of really good lucky machines. We've over the years had done really, really well at the Cosmo. I think like we're kind of getting to the point right now where we want to maybe go back to trying some other places too, because we got so locked in to just playing at the Cosmo. But there's a lot of properties that we like the Bellagio, MGM. We would Venetian. We wouldn't mind even trying Resorts World, but like I think we just want to like try to mix it up a little bit. We got really locked into kind of playing almost exclusively at the Cosmo, but they have a lot of great machines there. It can be very lucky. I hope they don't change too much about it. But it's actually kind of good that M Life's taking it over. We like M Life a lot because they give you quite a few perks. Like they give us a good shake on free play and concert tickets. And now with the stadium for football and concerts, whatever, I think they're going to integrate that in as well. It was Autumn Moon. I know, Pro Gambler. That's right. Show us the moon.
Alright, so I'm trying to find another question. So I'm trying to find another. Oh, it's not more made it just come. He says WMS made some of the best bonuses.
They did.
For sure.
Yes, and speaking of that, kind of another tangent. I just won a $12,000 grand jackpot.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, good for you.
That's awesome. I love it. Call it 10.
So I was getting all excited. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I just hit the grand jackpot. I was getting ready to just literally scream, getting ready to sign that WG2 form. And then I looked up and I realized I was in my room and I was like, darn it.
That's okay. We like Caroline likes to play the ones on her iPad, for practice.
I play Lightning Link.
She likes those, yeah, to practice, I am. Oh, Charlie, he bit me.
It's your
Charlie bit me.
Ouch.
But yeah, we like those too. We like to play the practice ones. That's a nice big screen you have it on. There's like a TV you have it on.
Oh, she has
This
a
is
machine.
actually an actual.
It's actual. Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. I love it.
It's an actual Blue Bird.
That's amazing.
I love this
That's so cool.
I love this thing just knowing. It's like you have a bird. I also have a bird right here, a Blue Bird.
Aww.
Birds. So, Anate, say everybody your name. There's a bird talk.
Amelia, our other conure, she talks. And Charlie, the only thing he can say is no.
Yeah, he knows no.
Yeah. Yes, I've heard him talk before, but he doesn't.
He laughs.
He's not very vocal.
I know he just heard it. He likes to laugh.
You can do that inhaler, Charlie.
Like, cause I have asthma, and I'll do my asthma inhaler. When I do it, he does the asthma puff.
Oh my gosh.
He won't do it now. He dances. He likes to dance. What's the song he likes? Is it the not Britney Spears?
He likes Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. He likes Taylor Swift.
I would love to see a video of him dancing. And Broke Gamble Slots says, have you ever played in the Wasp? If so, how did you do?
I haven't played in the WSOP in Vegas, but I have played online and I have played circuit events. Um, I haven't. I mean, I haven't done really good in those, but I have played some other tournaments. Some what you call it? The other one, WPT. I played some WPT events at the Commerce and the Bike in LA. Done pretty good. I've also, played a lot of cash games. But the very first tournament I ever, speaking of poker, the very first tournament I ever played in. This is another good story. So I played online. I used to play at Poker Stars a lot online, back when you could still play online anywhere, and always did really good. Liked it. My very first tournament ever in a brick and mortar casino card room was Ocean's 11 in Oceanside, California. I went down and I played. It was a daily tournament. There was over 100 people in it, and I took first place. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great! Like I must be like the greatest player ever," But it was pretty funny because obviously that's not the way it always goes. But it was funny. It was a great first experience to play in a casino, was to win first place. It was a pretty big thrill, and so ever since then I've been pretty hooked on poker. I like tournaments a lot, but I don't play tournaments quite as much because they're longer. It's longer days and hours, and I like to be with Caroline. Like a lot of times we like to play together, like slots mainly. So like I have cashed on a bigger tournament at Aria in their poker room as well. Took third place in that one. So yeah, I don't tend to play the WSOP and the WPT, the longer ones, because it would take away from time being with Caroline, and we usually like to be together, especially if we're in Vegas. Like I would do it, but I can't imagine being away from her for like 6 to 8 days playing the main event or something. I'm not saying I'll never do it. I would love to play the main event at the World Series of Poker one day. It's kind of always been a dream. Yeah. Excuse me, guys.
All right, so that is so cool to hear, and I'm not a very big poker player, but I really enjoy hearing your stories of poker, and I'm curious, do you find that poker or slot machines are more lucrative?
I would definitely say that if you're good at it, or if you have a bit of the poker skill and you've done your homework and you know how to play real well, you probably overall in the long term could do better on poker, only because it's not only luck. There's a lot of skill involved. But that being said, I feel like there's almost skill involved in slots too. Like, the reason, what I mean by that is that Caroline and I have a little bit of an advantage because we've played for so long. Like we talked about vibes and things. Like we can look at a machine usually and go, okay, this is a good machine, without even like playing it or trying it.
Well, that's Cosmo because we played there so much.
Excuse me. I know, but like I feel like we get reads on machines just like we would with poker. But I think poker is a better avenue. I mean, if you really wanted to invest in playing gambling, because there's skill involved, not just luck.
So like I'm curious, like when you're looking at the slot machine, I'm wondering how can you tell if it's gonna be a good machine before you even play it? That's what I'm like really curious about right now.
I know. That's kind of a weird statement, I know, but I don't know. Like I feel like we've just played
I feel like it's trial and error, really. It's kind of like at Cosmo they have this bank of lightning link machines right outside the high limit room, and like for the longest time they were just like not good. Like you can't win on them at all. So that's why I always say like, oh, those are not good. I think it's just from experience.
Definitely experience, definitely trial and error, and especially with the Cosmo, we played there for so long and so much that like it's so many hours that like you get used to.
I don't think you can really tell just by looking at a machine that it's going to be good or bad.
What I meant by that is like some games have a certain look to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like a lot of times we would call them, and no offense to Indian casinos, but we would call them like Indian casino games. I don't know what that sounds really like, whatever, but it's just like it would look like a game. We played a lot of those kind of like funky little games. I can't even explain what it would be or anything like that. But there's certain games trust your instincts, EC. That's right.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
something about, and plus, like I said, we have this little bit of an aura thing where we like, you can look at something and have a vibe on it somehow. I don't even know
If
how.
it looks interesting to you.
The symbols too. It's another thing. Like I'm all about the two biggest things for me with the slot is sound and symbols. If the
Yeah.
symbols are interesting and they catch my attention, and I'll call it like a lucky machine. If it has a certain kind of symbol or it looks a certain way and it sounds a certain way, I'll call that a lucky machine because it just has the whole vibe to it, or there's something about it. And that's how certain machines will hook me, is with those sounds and the symbols. Like for example, on the Mighty Cash, the Dragon Head, whatever that game's called, the Dragon Head Mighty Cash, I call it Dragon Head. Man, I had such a beat on that one for the longest time. I just couldn't lose on it. You know, it's one of those games you get used to the sounds and the way the symbols drop and the way it connects, and you just kind of like get in touch with it. It's weird. Yeah.
Yes, Susie.
Yes, and also
It
may
is.
somebody please drop the link in the chat.
Thank you.
And also, I do want to apologize. I do want to apologize for the description not being in the video. I thought I had a description ready, but I not saved it correctly. So right after this, I'll be adding the description.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's okay. We're just
Thanks.
happy you had us on. We've always, liked watching you, and you have such a great energy in the way that you interact with everybody. Everybody loves you, and that's great. I mean, like we're just happy to be on here and just talking with you. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be on here talking with you too, getting to know all of you. And Broke Gamble Slot says, sometimes you have that feeling after the first few bets. Oklahoma has the bingo patterns. You can sometimes tell when it has a good card.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I know that, and there are bingo machines. Sometimes Indian casinos also use those type of bingo machines. And I'm unfortunately not good at reading those to know, but that's a good point. That's an advantage right there. Like you can look at it and have it like what's the thing called, the advantage play. So those games
play.
now you can kind of scope out. Okay, this one has blah blah blah, this and that. We played a game yesterday. There was this new game.
It's a new one. I can't remember the name.
Couldn't tell you the
Gold
name.
Rush?
It's the coin one and
Yeah,
things
it's
like
Gold
that.
Rush.
And so it had like 4 coins already set on it, and all
And
you
like
need is
locked in.
one more.
Yeah.
And did good on it because you stay on that bet, stay on that. It's weird how you can do that now.
Yes.
But back in the day they didn't have anything like
You're
that.
not very good at those kind of games.
I'm not good at this. But I do like that's the funny thing about the bubble blast when we played that. And I was telling you about the $1.50 bet on put $20 in it. I'm never good at Ocean Magic or those games with the bubbles and stuff. But that particular game was just so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have like the grand pop out and go, or the major and all these and stuff, and you felt like you could land it. I love that. I love games that don't seem impossible. Games that you feel like you have a chance. You have to at least feel like you have a chance.
Yes. And yes. Shoot, sorry. And yes, I do find it. Yes. Yeah, I do find, and going off of advantage play, there's some games that I did notice from one of my friends, especially on the bags game, like you go through like the bets and you see even though this is kind of like an illusion or trick, even though the size of the bags do not matter at all, but you can go through the bets and see how large each bag is, and then depending on like how big it is, it kind of indicates how long somebody's been playing that machine and if you have a chance.
It's so true. Like with the bag game, for example, that's another good point with like a luck factor is, I feel like it, like you said, it doesn't really matter how big the bags are, but something kind of clicks with your mind like, hey, this bag is full, so maybe it makes you feel luckier, or you feel like maybe you have an advantage on that game. So a lot of times just having that instilled in your mind when you're playing the game kind of creates the luck in you. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of like, oh, I have a better advantage. So you start to feel luckier that way. And I feel like luck is just like a feeling. Like it's like there's times where if you get that lucky feeling in you and you're at a casino, there's just no stopping you. Everything you play, you're just gonna win. And it's just one of those things. If you have that luck moment and you have that instilled in you and you're just feeling it, that's when you just go on those heaters and you just can't lose, you know?
Yes.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah, I definitely had that. Live stream. I believe I was with Slot 500 Club. We were doing like a $500 live stream, and like everything I literally touched that night, I just kept like winning these like huge sums of money.
That's great.
Those are the best. Those are the best nights. I swear. We love them. We love those nights. We've had times, like Caroline was saying, where we're winning so much that we're like, gosh, we have to pull the plug on ourselves. We're like, and I know it sounds sad because most people will be like, no, I'm never going to bed. But we're ones that know that eventually it'll turn. Like luck comes in waves. It is not permanent. So like we like to end it on a high note. That's what we try to do. So if we're rolling and we're just going crazy winning, eventually we're going to pull the plug on ourselves. Even if we're up, even if we're winning, we'll pull the plug because it turns around so quick. And when that happens, it can just go back. You know, it can go back so easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I make the same. I make the same way when I'm live, or like when I'm playing a machine. The moment I double my money, I'm done. I'm like, all right, that's done. Next $20 bill. And for example, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent, but for one example, I was actually with Straight Up Slots. Hey, Straight Up Slots. And Miss Blinking. We were in the casino, and like we were in Cripple Creek, and all the way up on Cripple Creek, and going off the Aura thing too. I did feel the presence of Wayne the slot on my shoulder the entire time. He was like literally, I just like felt a little pressure right there. He was like sitting there. I could see, like, I vividly even was seeing a set of purple glasses, and like the entire time up, I just kept seeing Wayne on my shoulder, and I knew something good was going to happen. So we got up there, we lost on Huff and Puff. Then I put my next 20 in the Buffalo Gold, and within the first few spins, 50-cent bet, we got $50. That's the kind of stuff I get.
I love stuff like that. I call it supernatural, whatever you want to call it. I love stuff like that. It's like when you can like visualize, like I think a lot of it, your mind is so powerful. If you can like just create your own mindset of luck, like a lot of times, I think half of it is just your mind. I mean, if you're feeling confident, if you're feeling in the zone, we call it, there's no stopping you. But if you're feeling a little down or maybe you're frustrated or agitated, those are the times to like go eat a hot dog or like take a break because I mean, it's just that you shouldn't be playing when you're feeling like that because it's just not good. It's not good. You can just, it's hard because you can say that all you want, but we have all been there, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's definitely been some live streams where I got like so fed up. I'm not sure what it was, but it was like the energy, or like something internally, where I was getting so fed up. I blew like $60.
No.
It's so easy to do, and
it is.
And I mean we've had some blowups before. Like it's weird, like, and you just like say you've been winning, and then it starts to go down, and somehow in your mind you feel like, well, certainly I was winning so much, it's going to turn around and do that again.
Yeah.
And that's when you need to that's when you got to pull the plug, because next thing you know, it's all gone because you think, well, any minute I'm going to win the big one, it's going to happen. We've all been there. I mean, we're totally guilty, but like, it's so hard. You have to know when to hold and when to fold them. Like you have to know when to walk away, know when to run. I'm telling you, like there's so many times where that wave goes the other way and you can't stop. That's when you got to stop.
Definitely, and that's a really strong point because that's like the sunken cost fallacy. It's like so easy to keep sinking more and more money in, and as you do so, you keep going down and down and down. I think I might have already told the story, but I did make the mistake where I miscounted my stack of 20s, and I accidentally put an extra 20, spent over $20 on my budget into a machine
Aw.
during a live stream, and because I kept hitting the spin button because I was like, oh well, I already put $5 at the $20 and it became 10 and I lost the entire 20 instead of saying, all right, we are ending the stream. Because I realized it after $5 that I made a mistake.
It's horrible when those things happen.
It is.
I know it's so horrible, but I guess it kind of comes with the territory. I mean, everybody's gonna make mistakes that pay off, and everybody's gonna make mistakes that don't. I guess it's just kind of being able to weather the storms, and I mean, and then there's so many swings, like so many people, and us included, will go through such dry spells. I mean, you'll have, you could have 6 months where you're just not winning, and then all of a sudden, you have the Midas touch, you can't lose, So it's just weird how those things happen too. But I just luck is not a guarantee. It comes in waves. But I think a lot of it has to do with your life in general and what's going on. If you're centered and you're feeling good and you're happy spiritually where you're at, you're happy in life, and you're doing right to others and you're being good to people and taking care of people, it'll come back to you tenfold. And I feel like, those are the best times in life to be playing, is when you're right with the universe,
Yes. And Diana Mansart says, our Queen Diana always knows when to cash out.
She does.
She does. She's good about that.
Yes.
She's another one that's gotten really lucky on mistakes. I mean,
Yes.
that happened to us on this last trip to the Bellagio. I put $200 in a machine, and a Dragon Cash machine, and I thought I hit a $10 bet. It was $100, but I got the bonus. And I got the bonus on a $100 bet.
Wow.
And it was a hand pay for like $1,200. So, I mean, I wish it would have been bigger, obviously, with a $100 bet, but I wasn't complaining because I didn't, I mean, to take such a big amount for one bet, I was like, oh my gosh, So, it was crazy. It was my Diana moment.
Yes.
But she does really good on those mistakes. She'd be like, oh my gosh, I just,
lucky.
Yeah, she does get lucky. Nothing wrong with that.
She
Lucky
does.
is good.
Yeah, I'm curious. Speaking of mistakes, I am wondering, what was your best and most mistake?
The best mistake? That was a pretty good one. The $100 bet, thinking it's $10. That was a pretty mistake. I the worst mistake. Oh, I've had so many.
Oof.
I've had too many to name. I mean, I've had so many times where I'll tell you the best mistake. I have it. So the best mistake was Dragon Cash again. Those are lucky games at the Cosmo, and I was playing Dragon Cash in the high limit room, and I was going down on this one machine, kind of losing. And I took out my wallet, and I don't know how it happened, but I had a couple credits in the machine, like $10 or something.
Oh yeah.
I took out my wallet and I set it down on the machine, and it hit the button. And for some reason, it was on a $250 bet or $150, something like that. And it did the lucky chance with that amount, and I got the bonus.
Wow.
And I won $20,000. Literally.
Oh my god.
And I mean, nobody would ever believe it.
Video?
We don't.
Oh.
It's a true story. I swear to God. Cross my heart. Hope to die. Won 20 grand on a lucky chance mistake.
We have a picture.
Well, it was a lucky chance. I mean, it was a lucky chance bet, but it was not. I didn't mean to hit the button. It just hit it and did it, and that was unbelievable. I got the bonus. And it was $20,000. Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
That is the luckiest mistake, I would say. And yeah, but the worst mistake, I don't know. I've had times where I probably put that much in and just donked it off. Just made a horrible mistake, not paying attention to, just got in a bad place and lost a lot of money. But I mean, these days, Carol and I are trying to be very responsible with our money and playing, and like I said, we're kind of back to playing more regular bets. But if we're winning and we're doing good on a certain bet level, we will take it up to a bigger bet because we know that timing is everything with slots, and it's like, you just got to know when to make those big bets. I'm not one to sit there on $50 bets or even $25 bets, just hitting. But what I like to do is take it from a $5 bet or $4, $2, whatever, really quick jack it up to 25 and get lucky. And that seems to be something that works.
Yes.
Play.
Wow. And Sherry and Easy are asking, what are your favorite casino steaks?
Ooh.
I like a filet.
Yeah, filet. Filet's good. I like a New York too. New York, a good New York with some mushrooms.
The steak and eggs at Cosmo are supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
So good.
They have the ribeye.
The ribeye for breakfast? Oh, yeah, it's so good. They season that perfectly, yeah.
When we do our foodie trip, you definitely gotta show me the Cosmo steaks.
Yeah.
I know. Well, where else steak that we like? That we've had a really good steak.
The porterhouse that
We just had a really good dinner. Speaking of getting lucky, that's right. Joe says the prime rib. So the very first time we met Joe, Easy Life, we went to Gallagher's in New York City, and we took him out for dinner, and we all ordered a steak. I think Caroline and Joe.
Joe and I ordered the petite filet.
I ordered the prime rib.
And he orders the prime rib. I'm like, oh my God, we've never met Joe. And here he is, he's ordering the prime rib. And the prime rib comes out, and I'm not kidding you, it was like this big.
Whoa.
It was huge.
It was.
And Joe never got over it. He always teases me like, excuse me, I ate the whole thing. It was so good. And I'm not shy to say I did that. Nothing like a piece of prime rib with some cream horseradish sauce, right? Oh my God, it's so good.
Yum.
Yeah.
That sounds like paradise right now.
We gotta go on a food tour with you, Simon.
Yes. All right, so we should do the 2023 Vegas birthday bash food tour.
Yeah.
That's right. That'd be so much fun.
I'm like literally planning my 23rd birthday to make up for the 22nd birthday, doing the big birthday bash.
I know. Everybody's birthdays everybody keeps losing out on their birthdays because of the pandemic and all. We had a few years like that too, where it's not the same. It's such a bummer. Yeah. And your 21st birthday and everything was with the pandemic and everything, right? Yeah, I know. So sad.
It is. And also 5 of my birthday plans this year got cancelled.
No.
3 on my actual birthday. It was like a birthday bust, like a bonus bust.
Well, you know what? With you, Simon, you have such a great imagination, and you're such a light. You know what I mean? And I feel like you'd be happy and do well in any environment. I mean, anybody can travel and do things and everything, but the fact that you can make your fun no matter where you're at, I love that because I like creativity and imagination, and that's one thing I really respect about you.
Thank you so much. That makes my heart so warm to hear.
It's true.
I actually had like an absolute blast decorating my entire room for the birthday.
Oh,
that's the best. You got to make do with what you're given, right? And like we tuned in the other day, you were walking down your street and acting like it was walking through Vegas. That's better than walking through Vegas. I'm telling you, if you can have imagination, that's all you need. I'm serious. Like, so many people don't have that gift, being able to imagine things and have creativity. And you're so talented and you have the creativity and all that. That's everything. That's the gift. Really.
It is. Mm-hmm. And also, hey Shannon, nice to see you. It's crazy how far imagination can take somebody in the road.
It's so true. I've always had a very active imagination, things like that. I love to, growing up when I was younger too, I could always keep very entertained, with myself, just imagining things, and just being creative, that's such a gift, really. It's such a nice thing.
Yes. And also, Easy says that the casino was closed for his 29th birthday.
I know. We got
Yeah,
screwed that
totally.
year, huh, Joe? I know.
Yep. And
We have to celebrate.
Yes, we all got to celebrate a big birthday next year.
That'll be fun. Yeah, we'll have to just have like a big huge.
Next year will be a big birthday.
We do.
For us, yeah, next year's a big one.
Yes.
We're
And
gonna both be 50 next year, so.
woo! Happy birthday! We should do next 2023. It's the year of the epic. It's of the massive epic Las Vegas makeup birthday year.
That's right. This year is 20 years wedding anniversary for us. Next year we're 50, and the weird thing is Caroline and I were born 13 days apart in the same year.
Yeah.
One city apart. So like that's why we get along so well. I feel too. We've lived in the same area during the same time period. So I think that's why we gel so well.
And our parents are the same age.
Our parents were the same age. Yeah.
It is like so cool that you guys like met. Yeah, because you like already have so much in common.
We do. We always joke. We each have half a brain, and together we have a super brain. Like,
Yes.
like, I mean, I can't remember everything, and she can't remember everything, but together we get it done. So we're lucky to have each other. We're very blessed to have each other. I mean,
Aww.
literally, there's almost not an hour that goes by that we don't tell each other we love each other, and that like and she'll tell you. I mean, I carry on about her all day long. I'll just say, man, I do. I'm very grateful to have met Caroline. Love you, baby. Very lucky to have her.
Yes. You two are so lucky. And I do know, I think it was Love Travel Slots by Cassanova. I'm going back to earlier in the chat. I'm wondering what Vegas concert do you hope to see in the future?
Like what are we are going to a concert in Vegas in March. My birthday's in March, and we're gonna go see Widespread Panic at the Virgin.
Yeah.
It's Virgin, which is the old Hard Rock, right?
Yeah.
And that's a great the Joint, they used to call that venue. It's a great venue. The sound is amazing. And Widespread Panic's a band that is one of my all-time favorites. They're kind of like a rock and roll like band. Like a jam band. And they're really good. They have a great energy. Everybody dances and gets down. And so we're gonna go to that in March. Hopefully that everything's open and they're still doing that. But that's our plan right now, is to go for that. And we've seen them in Vegas before. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite song from them?
From Widespread Panic,
Yes.
I really like Diner. They have a song called Diner that I love. Probably Diner is not my favorite. I have a lot of favorites. The thing I love about them is they like all the not almost all the members will sing. Like there's the lead singer, guitarist John Bell, JB, and then there's the bass player. He'll sing, and then the keyboardist will sing, and so they'll take turns on vocals and styles, and they're like awesome, talented musicians. They can play anything, and in fact, when they'll play for like Halloween and stuff, they'll do like whole albums of other bands. They can play anything from like Metallica to the band, or like anything old. I mean, they can play anything, and they'll do like really bluesy. They're from Athens, Georgia, and so they'll do like a lot of like Southern blues rock, like really, really good, just great. I don't know, they just jam. They're so good. And they play 2 sets of music. So they'll play 1 set, take a break, and come back and play another one. And they play 3 nights usually when they play. So like every night is different. Every night's a different vibe. And the set lists are always changed. Like you never know what they're gonna play. Like it's just like a mix of whatever they feel like playing. And they're just so good. I just love them. Yeah, they're really good live.
I would love to get a link to their social media, and I find it really impressive when like a band and like group of people can like play like any music that they want. That's what I
Me
find.
too.
Mhm.
It's like there's like something so magical about music.
Those are the best musicians and the best concerts because, like I said, they can just play anything. Like that's true talent. You know, when you
It
can
is.
play any style. You know, they might do something that's kind of jazzy. They might do something that's kind of like hard rock. Like, but they can play all styles, and no matter what they're playing, they'll play like Stevie Wonder. They'll do like Superstition by Stevie Wonder. But like they just jam. They're so good. I got to meet JB John Bell, the lead singer, once, and he was just a super nice, like Southern guy, gentleman. He was just the nicest guy, and but they've always been one of my favorites. I got into them in what year was it? 1992, I think, or 93. I got into them. So I've been seeing them, a long time, and
Wow.
I've seen them all different places. They play Red Rocks in Colorado a lot. In fact, the guy that got me into them was he was from Colorado, and he gave me a bunch of tapes. He said, "You got to check out this band, Widespread Panic," and because they play a lot of live shows. That's what they're known for. Like they have studio albums too, but like what you like with them is their live music. So like because they're flawless. Their original guitarist died from cancer. His name was Michael Hauser. And Mikey, and his nickname was Panic, and that's where the name Widespread Panic came from. He was their sound, the guitar, and he died. And they had one of their guitarists, but now they have Jimmy Herring, and Jimmy Herring plays in a couple other bands. He's an older guy. These are all older guys. Like they're a lot older. They've been around a long time. Really quick though, Jimmy Herring Wales. This guy, I mean, he's like the sickest guitarist. He can just play anything. So a lot of fun. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Vegas or I don't know. I'm kind of like digging playing in Reno right now, where we live.
We love Reno.
Just because it's kind of laid back. The machines are good.
The people are super cool
nice.
here, super decent. Yeah, like it's a nice vibe here in Reno.
Yeah.
A lot. We like it a lot.
I do wonder, is Reno recording friendly?
We have never been stopped.
I want to say they're not friendly. We haven't had, like Caroline said, we haven't had anybody like say anything to us about it. We have a host at Atlantis now, and he actually gave us permission. So for there, that's where we filmed the most so far.
Nice.
And so we feel better doing it there because we've been given permission. So, but I feel like it's pretty mellow. Like the people here, I don't know. It's just a really good vibe. It's such a it's kind of like country living in a city with like amenities, like it's just like the people drive really respectful and just don't, everybody stays in their lane and doesn't go, 100 miles an hour down the freeway, which we appreciate. And just the food's really good. They have a lot of great restaurants. They have a lot of really good, like we have a really good Vietnamese place up the street. They have Indian food. Like we like a lot of different types of food. Like we like Indian food a lot. Caroline's mom was from Burma, so we ate a lot of curries over the years.
Yeah, I do. I'm not really explored Reno, but when I go back, I do hope to explore Reno even more.
Totally, yeah. And I see Dan Demand says about Tahoe. We're going to Tahoe next week for a concert and to play, and we're 30 minutes from Tahoe, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so I'm curious about Lake Tahoe. What's around Lake Tahoe? I've never been there before.
I've never been there either.
Caroline's never been there. It's a lot of people go there to ski, because it's a little bit higher elevation. A lot of people go there to ski at like a lot of ski resorts. They have casinos. Like there's Harrah's and Harvey's, and I don't know what else they have. They probably have other casinos, but the two most popular, famous ones, at least the ones we would go to, would be Harrah's and Harvey's, which are Caesars, and they have concerts there. Like there's a lot of they get, especially in like the nicer weather months, like in the summer and stuff, they have a lot of like outdoor concerts and stuff. It's very pretty. The lake is like crystal clear. You can see like to the bottom, like the water's crystal clear. And it's a beautiful, there's lots of trees. I've only been there once in my life, years ago with my parents, but we haven't been there since we moved here, but that's why we're planning a trip next week. So, but yeah, we're excited to check it out. We're gonna try and film some stuff and put a video out for it. But yeah, we're really happy to be so close to Lake Tahoe. It kind of opens up our options of places to go, maybe stay overnight and things like that, instead of Vegas, for example, because we're
Yes.
far from Vegas now. Before we were a 4-hour drive, and now if we wanted to drive, it would be like 8 hours.
Dang.
So that's a big difference. But it's still the same amount of flight. It's an hour flight, so that's not bad.
Yes, I'm curious. My mind's a little confused right now, but by moving, how is the flight still 1 hour, but the drive turned from 4 hours to 8 hours? How did that
Isn't that
happen?
weird? I know. I have no idea.
I think it's because there's no like the road from Vegas to Reno is not
Right.
like, is it rural roads and you stop and there's no highway to Reno.
Right. It's not like a direct shot. I feel
Oh.
like you have to kind of go out of your way a little bit.
Yeah.
We're really close to California where we live. Like we're like really close to the border. So Reno and Tahoe is all right on the border. So and then like even down like where we lived. I know it's weird. I know the flight was a little bit less though. Like
55 minutes.
where we lived before.
Oh.
No. That was the weird thing about the flight from Orange County or California to Vegas was, originally I think it started out at like 50 minutes or an hour. And as we kept going, it got shorter each time.
Wow.
Like I think it got down to like 35 minutes one time. We're like, what the hell's going on, bro? How is it so quick to get, but it just, I guess it depends on the jet stream too,
Yes.
like how the wind is. But yeah, but like Vegas is at the southern part of Nevada and, Reno's all the way at the north. So it's quite a difference. And
It is.
yeah.
I'm curious, do you live closer to Reno now?
We live in
Yeah.
Reno. We live in
Yeah,
Reno. We live in Reno.
That is so amazing.
Yeah, we love it. We're loving it.
I do.
Yeah, and the weather's great.
I do want to visit you in Reno someday.
You have to
Yes.
come see us. I know. We hope people will visit us. Yeah, we love the casinos here, and just everything. There's lots to do otherwise too. There's there's outdoor things to do, and we like the snow. The day we got here and moved here, the next day it snowed. We were
Wow.
snowed in, covered in snow the next day, and we're Southern California, so we're not used to that. So that was cool. And we have seasons here, like in Southern California, there was no seasons, and here at least we have seasons.
And it's kind of random too, but speaking of Reno, I remember like back in March, I was in Reno. I was about to go live, and Gamma Hot Queen Sots said like everybody go to Simon, she's going live, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that me and Gamma Hot Queen Sots are in the exact same state.
Oh.
She was in all the way in Vegas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
She's so nice. We like Jessica. Yeah,
Yes.
we just saw her in Vegas. Yeah, everybody was there. Wing Wang and Palm Springs Spinners. We had some, and Lori and everybody. We had so much fun, and got to meet Juicy. That was our first time meeting Juicy. She's so sweet too.
I really wish that I was able to go on that trip. Because there's so many amazing people there.
Where's that? Oh, on the trip. Yeah, I know. I wish everybody could have been there. It was kind of remarkable who was there. We surprised everybody. We weren't. They didn't know we were coming, so we popped out on everybody, and it was fun. We were so glad we went. It's been a while since we've been to Vegas. It was probably at least 3 months. Thank you, Georgie. That's so nice. Thank you. Glad you liked it. Thank you.
And also,
but yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was glad we went. We didn't plan on going, but it was kind of last minute. But we were glad we did.
Sorry.
Yeah, is that the stream? Is that the StreamYard duck on your hat?
This on my hat is a Jerry Garcia
Yes.
logo. He has a guitar called Wolf, and this is the logo that's on that guitar. And on the back of the hat, let's see, says Garcia.
Nice.
So,
Oh, you don't
oops,
like
Charlie hates his hat. He doesn't like this hat.
Oh.
But yeah, no, this is a because I like the Grateful Dead. You know, I used to like. I still like them, but I like them a lot too. So, because I like rock and roll. I like classic rock and things like that, like The Who and Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, The Doors. I love all that.
Yes.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, and also like Salt by Georgie says, I missed the Maximum Hotel in Vegas in 1994.
Huh. Do you remember the Maxim Hotel? You know, Georgie, I got to be honest. I mean, the name somehow rings a bell, but I don't know that I've ever even been in that. I don't remember that.
I'm gonna have to Google it now.
Yeah, the Maxim. The name
Same.
sounds familiar. 94, huh? I don't know.
And Lori says, my most memorable birthday. Thank you, Bobby and Caroline, for making it so special.
Well,
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Lori. That was
We were glad we were able to surprise everybody.
sorry, this stool is so uncomfortable. We were so happy that we were able to surprise everybody and come. And we took Lori and Bill, her husband, to our favorite restaurant at the Bellagio Yellowtail. And it's great because if you have secret pro tip about that restaurant is when you make a reservation there, if they have the patio available, you can request it. And you're literally sitting just
Right
on the lake watching the fountain show. And it's
Wow.
loud. You can feel the force of it, you know? It's so cool.
Whoa. Do you have a video of it by chance?
Lori might. Ask Lori to send you a clip. I know that she took some video of the fountain from there.
Yes.
Yeah. Lori, I think Lori has some. I'm on this really uncomfortable stool.
I do wonder when you went to the Yellowtail, what did you end up eating?
Ooh, we got the tuna pizza,
Yum.
the protein roll.
They have in the crispy kalbi roll, which is not sushi. It's
It's
a short rib sushi roll. So it's got short rib in the middle with rice, and then it's topped with like a really nice cold coleslaw.
It's so good.
It's delicious.
It's really, I think that's her favorite.
Yeah.
Really good.
Everything there is good.
They have the best food, the best sushi, the best everything.
Yes. I can't to try it when I'm there again. And are you guys thinking about coming down to Vegas for G2E 2022?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe.
October.
We haven't thought about it. Maybe. You never know.
Yes.
October's our anniversary, so we
Aw.
usually plan a trip around that time, which I think is actually probably around the same time.
Yeah.
So you never know. We might be there. We might be there during that time.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure we're going to want to be in Vegas for our anniversary since it's 20 years. We were married there, so we'll definitely probably be in Vegas for our anniversary.
Definitely. And also happy early anniversary. What a huge milestone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know it goes fast.
It does.
A lot of changes in 20 years, that's for sure. I mean,
Definitely.
you know, I don't want to say bad or good. I mean, just, you know, a lot of changes. You know, 20 years is a long time for anybody. And, you know, it's just, but I would say it's been 20 great years, you know, I mean, honest. I mean, even with all the bad things, you know, things that have hit us, you know, all of our parents passed away and you know,
we don't want to bring this
sorry,
down now.
sorry. We had a lot of loss in our family
Mhm.
and you know, a lot of changes, a lot of health problems and things, but you know, we're happy people. Just keep on keeping on.
Yes, that is such a strong marriage. And Easy says Georgie, Marge, Bobby, and Caroline need to do some starting together. Tons of good energy.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
We would love that. I
We'll
know.
slot with Mommy and Daddy.
We want to slot with Mommy and Daddy too.
Go Georgie.
In Georgie, of course. Yeah, that would be so much fun. That would be a blast. We would love that anytime.
Yes.
Anytime.
Do you
Come
think,
to Reno.
Yes. Do you think I could tag along on the party?
Yes, and you too. Of course.
I can't wait to have a slot session of all of you.
We want that. We do want to meet you in person. I think there was one time where we almost got to see you at the Cosmo,
Yes, I know that.
and we had to leave early. So, but yeah, we want to meet you in person for sure.
Yes, unfortunately, I'm not sure when I'm going back to. As of now, unfortunately, I'm not sure when I'm going back to Vegas until 2023.
Oh, okay.
Well, Vegas will always be there.
A year goes so fast. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't even know. Like 2021, like what the heck? That was like one day. I mean, it just goes. I mean, it just feels like it goes so fast. Time, and especially when you get older. I remember my dad telling me years ago, man, when you hit 40, it just goes really fast after that. And I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. And he was not joking. I swear, time just goes so fast. We'll be like whatever day it is, like trash day or whatever, and then like a week later we're like, what, how did the week go by? Like a week just goes so fast, you know? It really does.
And what's crazy is it feels like yesterday I was 2021 playing my very first slot machine, the Bird People Party, and I just like restoring my fun, this excitement, this nervousness, like as if it was yesterday.
I know. And time goes fast. That's like I said, like you said, you're not going again until 2023. But you know what? You're gonna blink, and it's gonna go so fast.
Yes.
In the meantime, just keep being you, and keep the positive energy, and just be a light like you are. You know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I do, and I also can't believe that it was like almost a year ago that I ended up getting a major, like $1,000 major on a slot machine.
That's so awesome.
That's awesome.
Nothing like getting a major. I tell you, that's like the best feeling, isn't it?
It is.
For sure.
Yeah, so we're almost at 2 hours. I'm curious, is there anything that you wish that we talked about, or any more questions in chat before we wrap up?
I had fully intended on trying to follow along with the chat, but I am not good at multitasking when it comes to reading, and like that's why a good point I'll make is that any channels that are watching or anything, I never want you to feel like we're not watching. We always watch, but I don't always chat. Caroline's much better at the chat than me, and it's only because I don't type fast, number one. And number two, when I'm watching a video, I like to enjoy the video, the visual, the audio, and watching it. And if I'm typing or monitoring the chat, then it takes away from the video. So that's just so people know that about me. If I ever am not in there chatting, and
we usually put you on the TV.
Yes.
So.
We usually watch any slot videos, any videos, YouTube on TV. We like that. And so that's another point. Like Caroline might pop in and out of the chat on her iPad, but if I'm watching something on TV, and we watch mostly YouTube, to be honest, it's very funny that we don't watch a lot of other shows. We like YouTube, you know, that's what we like. So, but I don't chat too much because it takes away from the time of watching the video, and I can't multitask for some reason. So
it does take a lot of practice to be able to read the chat and to watch the video, and also live streaming. Quite honestly, live streaming is at the casino can be really crazy task, especially if you're by yourself, because you're holding your phone, you're holding the ticket, you're holding the machine, you turn up the volume, and you just have to go for it and help.
It's so hard. It is. I love doing live streams, though. I really do. Caroline doesn't like doing the live streams as much, but I love doing it. But again, like you said, it's hard to read the chat.
It is.
And I sometimes feel like people think, oh, he's not paying attention to me, or he's not, you know, but it's not the case. I'm literally just trying to keep it together. Like you said, you got your water, your ticket, your card, your phone, like everything. And it's very hard, but I love doing the live streams. It's fun. It's fun to be able to chat with people. I love this format. I love like what you do and what everybody does, that, you know, it's just such a neat thing to be able to connect with people in a different way than being in person, you know, because so many people are home these days, and, you know, people are locked down, whatever, this and that. It's nice that they have this available to be able to connect with people, I think. That being said, I miss the old days before technology. Like I do miss that too. I do miss like the days before cell phones and things like that, you know? As crazy as that sounds, it does make your life a lot more convenient. It is good for certain things.
Yes.
But I miss the innocence and the time of just not having all that, you know, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of weird thinking that I never had a life without cell phones.
But there's a lot of, most young people and people your age, you know, it's a later thing. And like, you know, that all came out during our lifetime, you know, and we, you know, I remember my first experience to computers was in junior high school. That was the beginning, and that was a long time ago, probably 85 or something like that, probably. But like, you know, before that, and even then there wasn't cell phones and things, you know, like we had pay phones. If you were out somewhere and somebody had to get a hold of you, you had to wait till you got home. When you got home, that phone would ring really loud. And that, I mean, now if I had that phone ringing, I'd be like, oh my God, what is that? You know, I wouldn't like that. You know, everybody puts their phones on silent, and like, I like that. You know, I like the cell phones being able to.
Amelia does a funny thing on the phone. If she hears a phone ring, she'll say hello.
Hello.
Or she'll scream out hello.
Yeah, she talks. But yeah, I do miss the simpler time. I mean, I don't want to sound old or anything, but I do miss the simpler time of not having all the technology. I think it's great, and it's a good and a bad thing. You know, it's kind of one of those things like you have to have it these days, but I do miss the days where we didn't have it too. That's all. It's same with the casinos, like you said, like the coins versus the Tito versus old Vegas versus new Vegas. Like there's good and bad.
Yes.
It's just the way it is.
Definitely. And I'm curious, you said computer in like 1894, 1980 something. My mind's going all over the place. But was the computer the size of a room? And did you like have to use punch hoops? And was it like vacuum tubes in there?
My first computer that I owned was an Apple IIc. So have you heard of that computer? An Apple IIc?
That was mine too.
It was, the monitor was, I don't even know. It was tiny. It was a tiny little monitor. The only color on it was green. So there was no multicolors. Any pictures, any writing, anything you looked at was green.
Yes.
And I loved it. I mean, we've always been Apple people. Even back to the computers. I had an Apple IIc. I had that for I played games on it, everything. And then after that, I got a Macintosh computer, and that was an upgraded version. That one maybe started to have colors. But yeah, hi Ghost Slots.
Hi Ghost Slots.
But it was neat to, you know. What'd you say?
Hi Ghost Slots.
Oh. Yeah, so it's funny, like, you know, the things that have come out, even before cell phones, there was car phones. They had like, before cell phones, people had phones in their car. And that's when you like really knew you'd arrived if you had a phone in your car, you know? And it's just so funny to look back on those things, you know? Everywhere you went, there was payphones. Now you don't see payphones hardly anywhere, you know? It's just weird.
It is. I remember being 6 years old, and I remember asking my mama, hey, what's that thingy right there? And she's like, oh, it's payphone. And I was like, that is so cool. I saw them all over downtown, even when I was 6 years old, back in 2006.
Isn't that funny? I know. It like payphones were everywhere, and there was a thing too you could do. Like if you didn't have any money on you, could call people, like your parents. So like you would go to operator or whatever, and you would place a collect call to that number, and then your parents would answer, and they would say, yeah, it's okay, I'll accept the charges. So like they had to like accept the 20 cents or whatever it was, and then you could talk, you know.
I know, and I remember the song from the 70s. It said Mr. Operator, and there's like a song about somebody saying, Mr. Operator, can you tell me how to get connected to my Gates phone line? And
yes, I think I know that song.
Yes, and I can't believe like back then you actually had like that when you picked it up, even started calling somebody, that an operator in the back room actually like picked up like a wire and connected you into like into like the phone code wall.
We're not that old, but
well, I remember when I was doing Morse code.
All right,
no,
come
I'm just
on.
kidding. But yeah, no, it's funny how as you get older, you look back on things. I remember my dad saying, "Well, I only paid 10 cents for a loaf of bread, and all that kind of stuff." And as you get older, you start to remember things like that yourself. It's funny, but yeah, like Vegas is so different. I love looking. I've seen some old video of Vegas showing the way it looked like in the 80s
Yes.
and things like that. I love looking back on that because it's so the signs and everything is so different.
Neon.
Yeah, it's really fun to look back on that.
I just loved neon.
Neon, I
Us
love
too.
neon too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like brings back so many cool like memories and thoughts.
Of neon, yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
The signs were gigantic, like at
Wow.
Caesars and these places
Mhm.
where they'd be advertising who was playing. And it's just fun to look back at the signs and see who was playing at that time. Legendary people. So yeah, it was a different time. They had every hotel had a show, like a regular show. This is one that my parents would take me to a lot called City Lights. It was at the Flamingo, and my parents were cool. Like okay, so they were kind of hip parents. They would take me to this show, and it was all topless. I mean, but it's not like dirty. It was a very, very beautiful show with showgirls, and they had, but part of it was they were topless, and I was probably, 10, 12 years old, These days you'd probably be taken to jail if you did something like that, but back then anything went. And one funny story, one year my friend Frank, he was my age, we were in junior high school, and we brought him to Vegas with us. My parents said, "Oh, why don't we all go see City Lights?" And so we went to
I love this story.
This is a funny story. We went to City Lights, and this is back in the day when you had tickets and you walked in. You gave the guy $20 and he got you the good seats in the house. So we walked in, and my dad gave the guy $20, and he says, "Let's get these guys down close." He says, "My boy here, he doesn't see so good." And so we get down in the front. Literally, we're leaning on the stage.
Wow.
And Frank didn't know what to expect, but these girls all come out topless.
He said he didn't blink for like 2 hours.
Yeah, he didn't blink the whole time. He still thinks about it. It's funny. But Frank's grown now. He's like the president of his company, and but that was a funny story because my parents they believed in having fun, and they just weren't they were just anything goes. They were so cool. They loved Vegas.
Oh, what a fun memory.
It is.
I really wish that there's definitely some like old shows like that, like some old shows, and there's like some like and I really wish that I was alive to see the Rat Pack perform in Vegas.
Me too. There's that one spot, by Venetian where they took that picture. Have you been to that spot?
Not yet, but what's the picture?
Well, it's a famous picture of the Rat Pack in front of, what was the hotel?
The Sands.
It was the Sands, when it was the Sands, that's right. And so they took this picture all in a row and, behind looking at the Sands. Well, that spot where they took the picture, I think they put their hand or footprints in, and it's still there, and they have the picture there. It's right by the Venetian there, out by the street, and you can look at the spot where they stood and did that. So next time you're in Vegas, check that out. We haven't seen it in person ourselves, but we saw another YouTuber showing that, one of the walking channels, and it's really, but we want to check that out too because it's so iconic. Yeah, famous picture.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, it's just a really famous picture of that spot, and you probably even recognize the picture of them all standing there together. Yes. It's just history. It's so cool. I love old history of Vegas and old, like we talked about, old actors, old movies, music. I love all that stuff. Even stuff before we were born, I love all that stuff. Yeah.
I love learning about all the old music.
Me too.
And Beth says, you missed a great ending to the game.
Oh no, did they win?
Please tell me they won, Beth.
Who won?
Please, Beth.
Please.
She said great ending, so.
I like great endings.
Same. And
that's okay. We've had such a great time being here with Simon and everybody, and thank you so much for having us on. And we're so appreciative to you for having us on. Thank you.
Oh,
like
wow.
OT. Oh,
I'm glad I didn't watch.
my heart couldn't have taken it. I'm so happy though. That's awesome.
Same.
And the Rams won.
I
That
know.
was awesome. That was awesome. We watched the Rams game. That was really good. That was such a great, exciting finish.
I'm
Hey,
so.
Charlie.
And Susie says that was not great.
I'm sorry, Susie.
Sorry.
Sorry, Susie.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like having this like flash before we go. I'm like having this like flashback before I go. I'm like having this like flashback of like the show that Lori took me to when I was in Vegas in June, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
had this, and it had this like image of this demolition of like the stands, but it was like in reverse. I actually never seen the demolition footage of the stands, and like the stands like building back up, and it was like showing the map pack. Yeah, Lori, I'm curious, do you still have that video that you took? If you do, I'd love to see it again because it is such a treasure.
Oh.
A video that we took?
No, that Lori took.
Oh, Lori took. Yeah, Lori, yeah.
And
That's awesome.
It was such a treasure to watch, and I just love seeing the montage as the song "Fly Me to the Moon" was playing, of like old Vegas, old quarter slot machines, and it just brought so many good feelings back.
That's so great. You know, Tropicana, you know, they're getting ready to implode. And man, Tropicana used to be such a nice place to stay at. They had this kind of like MGM has this lazy river that you sat on the inner tubes and went around. They had like swim up blackjack, so you could like, you know, just swim up to the stool, have a drink, and play blackjack like while you're in the pool. I always thought that was so neat.
Tropicana is dead to me.
Yeah.
We haven't been back there in 20 years.
We lost our money. We went there and lost our money. But Tropicana was always a really pretty, like, nice hotel, you know. But I guess, you know, nothing ever stays the same. You know, that's the bottom line. Is you know, everything is going to change eventually, and you know, so that's just the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just excited to think about Tropicana going, and also like there's like other shocking news that the Hard Rock is going to demolish the Mirage, take away the volcano, and put a giant guitar down, which is going.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just
so funny how the skyline is so changed there with Resorts World and all. You know, where Stardust was. Stardust was such a like classic old hotel and casino. I mean, that place was so iconic. You know, I feel like Wayne Newton, right?
Yeah.
Wayne Newton was just there for like 30 years every night. You know what I mean? Like that, like classic Vegas, you know? And it was weird. The Stardust towards the end did a weird thing where when you walked in, they would have these timeshare people trying to sell you like timeshares and stuff. And that's kind of was the beginning of the end for the Stardust, in my opinion. It was very different at that point, but it was always such a classy and very pretty. Like you said, you like neon and all that kind of stuff. That the sign was unbelievable, and just like it was very neon, very old, cool Vegas. You know, like very cool. Yeah.
That's my favorite era. Is the neon era. I do find that the LED signs are not as captivating or as eye pleasing as the neon.
I love the flashing lights and the neon. That is casino, right? That is Vegas. Yes, I agree. Well, thank you, Simon.
All right, so I really do want to thank everybody for staying here. Bob and Karen, I definitely would love to hear more about old Vegas and all of its very rich history. We should definitely do a Slot Speak talk too. Instead of Slot Speak, we should call it Vegas Speak, where we talk about the history of Vegas.
Okay,
that would be cool.
We would love that. Anytime, just let us know. We'll orchestrate something again.
Yes, I would love to do a Las Vegas history talk.
Okay, sounds good. We'll do our research.
Yes. So, all right, see you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon, for having us on.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for being on. And if one of the moderators could please drop the link, that'd be so appreciated. After I end the stream, I'm gonna be fixing the description. Not sure what happened there. So that the link will be in there. I hope you all have a great night. See you around.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
You too.